The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondell.
My mind is on the go, never faking. OG Ego is the future of the rap game.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Stage Door Show tonight. We are recording live from Hollywood, Florida, our new digs down here near the Miami area, and I'm excited because this is our first show since we opened up our new studio, and I have OG Ego with me. How you doing, Ego?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to have you on the show. Just excited to have you on, and I want to talk about some cool things that you have out there. I mean, you have some new music. I mean, we got Quiet Storm, we got Never Trust. I mean, talk about some of those new songs you have. I saw some stuff on YouTube, but talk about Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm. It was one of my favorites back in the day. You know, my mama used to always play that song. Mobb Deep was her favorite group. So as the time I was growing up, and as I was listening to their songs, I found Quiet Storm. And when I was listening to Quiet Storm, I was writing a lot of music down, trying to fit the right lyrics to it. I was basically in love with that song.
So what you know about that life in the streets? Well, it's all about survival, according to me. There's people out here struggling to put shoes in their feet. And plus they ain't got no homes, they always lay in the street. OG Ego who tryna rap, they go and start up the beat. You know I can't go a day without spitting that heat. But picture me as LeBron, just thinking you'll see. He's the GOAT with the ball, but I'm the GOAT with the beat.
Like, I really loved it throughout my whole life. And then that's when I had decided to just go ahead and just make some serious lyrics, put it down in the song and just go spit it. And I'm grateful that I really put it down like that.
And talk about, too, I mean, one of the things I love about that song is the opening.
I ain't never been quiet, 'cause I'm always making noise. I had to go ahead and give them what they asking for. It's like they want more from OG, but I've been giving them all I got.
The spoken word. I think spoken word is very powerful, especially at the beginning of a song. And to kind of talk about that spoken word piece at the beginning, because that really hooked me in. Is that something that you're hearing out there as a hooking people?
Definitely. Started as a youngin', then I grew into a hustler. I came a long way. I came from being in the D home to stealing, doing all that dumb stuff, and trying to create something great for myself. And I'm really proud of doing it.
When I'm watching your YouTube videos, one of the things I notice is how mature your presence is. And so talk about that a little bit. I mean, how long have you been on the music scene, and what are some of your influences that kind of got you to that point?
As a kid, my favorite inspiration was Michael Jackson. I used to sing, dance, just everybody would tell you, like the whole Norfolk would tell you, you used to stay singing, beat it, and all that. So the time I grew up, one day I went to my cousin's house, and I was chilling with my little cousin, and I heard him on a song, and I asked him, like, bro, is this you? He said, yeah. So I was like, bro, you think you can get me on? He said, yeah, but you got to be as serious as I am. Like, he more serious about it than me. But, we a team. We working together on it. So when I had laid out my first track, it was just it. It was like love at first sight, bro. Like, for real. Like, I really grew up from a small town called Moulton, and a lot of guns. I'm pretty sure how everybody started. Everybody starts from the bottom. But, yeah, I've been, as soon as I had dropped my first single, it was just it. I was just dropping songs back and forth. I got a lot of them, over maybe 100 of them by now. And with that, I'm just trying to go ahead and look for my team and just live it right. Stay out of the way. My other inspiration was Bill Boy. He the one that really got me out. So, because for real, I ain't really used to talk or be around a lot of people until I met him for real, hanging with him. Long live Bill Boy. I love you, bro. RP. He taught me a lot. Hearing him rap really inspired me to do more than what I'm doing now. So,
talk about the rap hip hop genre, because it's a very saturated market, as you know. What do you do to keep your work cutting edge to kind of separate yourself from the rest of the pack out there?
I just listen to music. Every time I walk through the streets, I got headphones in my ears. Like, I don't really pay attention to everything that's really going out there but myself. I'm working on me. I'm building myself. I'm trying to get out of here. You feel me? Like, I got a dream I want to chase.
So but talk about that. Talk about how you get to that point where you can make this. Obviously, you're 100% living out there. When you go out there and you're in front of thousands of people in an arena, there's obviously, like you said, you got to start somewhere, right? And so when you kind of going through this process as an independent artist, obviously you have to market yourself. And when you market yourself, you have every tool available, talking about social media, talking about Spotify, talking about Apple, talking about all these music platforms that you can use. But what do you do? How do you use those to benefit yourself to move to that next level?
I use those to basically level up. You feel me? Like, I put my heart and my soul in my music, and some people will like it, some people won't like it, and wherever it goes, I'm gonna do me. You feel me? I'm not really in for it for the money. Like, ever since I had heard myself on the first song that I did with my cousin, I just fell in love, bro. Like, I really love music at this point, and I really don't want to distance myself away from it. It keeps me motivated. And you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the message you want your fans to hear in your music? I mean, is there a certain message you want to portray out there for your fans? I mean, what do you want to leave your legacy when it's all said and done? What do you want your fans to walk away with?
I want them to walk away with their head up and a smile on their face. I want them to know that if you got a dream that you want to chase, go ahead and chase it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can or can't do with your life. You want to rap? Go ahead and rap. You want to play ball? You go ahead and play ball. If you want to play football, go ahead and play football. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do with your life. It's yours. You go and live it.
If you could collaborate with anybody out there, I know we talked about some of your influences earlier, but current day, if there's anybody out there that you could collaborate with, who would you do that with, and who would you work with, and why?
Who would I work with? I work with Taedo. He got that flame, he really brought the hood up, ever since, the star passed away, Billboy, I'm going to say it again, long live the GOAT. He really came a long way, got his name out there, just popping out there in the streets, doing what he got to do. I'm trying to be on that same boat as him. I'm a huge fan of his music.
So now that things have opened up from COVID, are you performing out there or live? Are you going to, now that things have opened up a little bit? What are your plans? Not yet. I haven't performed yet. Right now, I have a manager, but we still trying to work out some details of how we gonna do things. Try to make sure that we see eye to eye, so we can go ahead and go where we want to go. So you're just kind of getting your music out there recorded first. Then once you have a fan base, then you're gonna go perform more. Yes, sir. Okay. So let's talk about also what other projects you're working on right now, because we already talked about Quiet Storm, but you also have a good one out called Never Trust, and I know Lotus, and you have some other music. Let's talk about some of your other music. What do you have out there? Never Trust, that song is basically about, if you ever been snake, somebody done got you, just don't trust them. Always watch your back. Yeah, absolutely. Now you have Lotus as well. Talk about that song. Lotus. All right. Now, you want to know something? That was the first song that I had fell in love with. Lotus. That was the first, and then made it into a video. At that video, I was expressing myself. I was just too happy at that moment. I just wanted to go ahead and just, see how I sound. Basically, go out there, got a good maybe 2,000 views up there, I believe so. And I'm really proud of it. And shout out to AMT, man, because you're the one that made that possible for me, bro. I love you. Let me go ahead and give a little bit of this juice. I go ahead and I take what I want. I decide if I need it or don't. You wanna stop me, come try, you won't. A nigga crazy, y'all just don't know. My talk about the process of how do you record? I know, do you record out of your house or do you record in a studio? As an indie artist, that's something that I know we have a lot of indie artists that listen to us, and that's something that I think they're interested in, how other artists perform or record. So how do you record your music? Do you do it in the house or do you go into a studio? I write my music in my house, but I go to a studio owned by Stoner, Michael Stoner, the Stoner brothers. They out there doing their thing too. But see, a guy like me, I take music very seriously, like very seriously. If somebody want to do a song with me, I'll tell them, all right, give me a couple of days. I'll go ahead and whip up some heat for, because I really like to
know what I say word for word when I put it down on a sheet of paper or go onto the phone. When I go in the studio, I take my time. I take some breathers. I pray, to make sure everything I say is great.
So how about the beats? Where do you come up with your beats? Do you do them yourself, or do you have somebody you work with?
I have somebody I work with. He send me beats sometimes.
So how can people find you? I know on social media, obviously everybody's got social media, and I saw you on Instagram. I know we follow each other on Instagram, but besides Instagram, what other social media do you have?
You can follow me at Facebook. That's Young Rich Nigga Shamar, but I'm getting ready to change that in a couple of days. So now SoundCloud, you can find me on OG Ego, Apple Music, same thing, OG Ego, Spotify, OG Ego. Everything else is OG Ego.
OG Ego. Sounds good, everyone. Hey, check this out. Before we go, Ego, I have one question that I always ask everybody that comes on my show. And if there was one place, it doesn't matter where it is, what stage in the world would you love to play, and why is that?
California. That's a dream right there, to be up there in the big stage, Nipsey Hussle, Snoop Dogg, all the GOATs up there, and I'll be proud to be one of those. I told you I ain't really in for the money now. I just want to be great, be on top of the world, let people know who I am, just show them me. So
OG Ego, man, I can't thank you enough for being with us tonight. Again, our new studios down here near Miami. So happy to have you on the show, and if you're ever in the Miami area, make sure you look me up, and I hope to have you on the show again sometime.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. See, I think we got one. Just chill. I ain't finna tell y'all how I got away with